Right, Liam, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Cool, man. Right, so talk to me, man.
I think the standard skin fade, mid skin fade. A little bit.
What do you want to do with the top?
A little bit of something different. Like it's looking a bit flat, like you said.
We normally have like a super neat, flat sort of crop, don't we? So you want to do something a little bit different.
Something a little bit different.
But we can sort of, because your hair is still quite short.
Yeah.
We can just bang a load of texture into the back of it. I'll show you how to do this as well, so it's easy to do at home. Keep your fade.
Yeah.
How do you feel about going a little bit different? How do you feel about putting like a little bit of line work on the side of your head?
I'll trust you.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
All right, sound, man. And we're doing the beard as well?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. And so what is it you want to do with the beard?
A little bit of neatening up.
A little bit of neatening up?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Have you ever had a deep taper on the beard? Well, normally a deep taper, we'll put the zero in here and then we'll fade it down. Sorry, a normal taper, we'll put the zero in here and then we'll just taper it in. A deep taper, we put the zero in about here and then we fade it back.
Okay.
Yeah? Fancy trying some of that?
Yeah. Try it, give it a go.
First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a section from the middle, assess what we got. This is just above finger length, so what I'm going to do, I want to keep that length, so I'm just going to point cut into it. Take my next section, keep the length, but texturise, so I'm going to deep point cut into it. Do that all the way to the front, and then match up the sides. What sort of products are you using at home, Liam?
I don't usually use anything.
No?
I'm not really a fan of them.
Okay, cool. Now slice into it on one side. Through. Just texturise it. I'm just going to use my texturizer. The better you take care of the connections area, the less refining you got to do. So. Alright, so I'm going to start my clipper work. So I'm going to put a free guard on my clipper, close it, and I'm just going to come into my foundation, which I just cut around. Just cut it literally bare minimum, which is good. Grab my 2, open up the clipper this time, so it's a 2.5. And just start to work on this transition now, from the top work into the side. So my 2, open it up, bring that up to my 3, close it, and meet the 2 around the back. Alright, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bang a 0 in. What do you reckon? High fade, low fade, medium fade? Medium. Yeah. Alright, cool. So I'm going to bring this in. What I like to do, I like to turn them into the mirror, and then I can match it up exactly. Takes any guesswork out of it. And as I come into the back, look at what's here, and then just match them up. Right, so I've debulked. I'm going to go in with my detailer and just come just before the line. We're taking this down to skin, bro, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, cool. I'm going to clear him out. I'm going to use my Braun Series 9. The reason I use this, it gives a really nice smooth cut. It's comfortable for the client, and I find I can use it and not put big heavy lines in everywhere. So, start up here. not coming all the way up to my zero line. I'm leaving a little bit of detailer work. That just creates another transition. Just make sure you take the time. The transition from this to skin is as smooth as you can get. You can always go back in with your detailer and just knock it out. That's what I'm going to do. Put my one guard on my clipper, make sure the lever's closed, and this time I'm going to put one section in. Clip it off, guard all the way open, that's going to give you a 0.5. I'm just going to start working this area now. So I'm going to come in and flick out just before that one. Water open.
Only plan is you. It's just you eating some fucking prawns.
All the way shut, and just tap at the line that's at the very bottom.
Oh, man.
1.5 guard, put that on, make sure it's closed. It's going to come up to here now. Back to the one guard, going to open it up, so it gives me a 1.5 again, and now it's going to blend down. So I'm going to follow this shape that I put in. Close it halfway. Close it all the way, gives me a 1. It's going to work that area between my first guideline and what I've just worked on.
There's some jobs I can't do, but I don't know that's actually.
And in that last little area, I'm going to put my half guard on. I was going to polish this out a little bit. There's a few little dark spots in there, so this will get that out. I can see though, there are a couple of little dark spots, so I'm going to use the corner of my clipper. I'm just going to point cut them out. As I'm doing this, I'm blending into my previous section.
It's this month, end of the month, 20 something. 24, yeah, 24 now.
The reason I keep moving his head, if I just look from here, I'm looking down on top of the fade. If I pull his head that way, I can see the whole thing for what it is. Now I'm not going to miss any spots in because I'm giving myself the opportunity to see the whole fade for what it is. Now I can see here there's just a little dark spot here. So I'm going to have to address that. This is why I work in quarters, so I can address any sort of issue as it comes up rather than leaving it to the end and coming back for it, because you're going to miss things out that way. Just picking at any little dark bit. Being very careful to make sure I cut in line with the hair, not at an angle, so I'm going to cut a massive chunk out and there's no sort of coming back from that. Beardbrand's tea tree spray. It's a lovely little sea salt spray. Spray a little bit in, massage it in, I'm going to dry that in. It just creates a nice little bit of texture. I am going to add a little bit of the product in there because we are going to sort of spike the back up a little bit. Only a tiny bit.
Look, if I straighten myself, look. This is me straight. Yeah. It looks so weird. It does, doesn't it? That's like the guy who.
I can see just looking at him, it's growing out a little bit. It's sitting lower here. I'm going to start in the middle. out and just work my way out. The trick is when you're doing this sort of work, less is more, man. Do a little bit by little. You're not going to run off too, you're not going to run away with it and realise you've gone too high on one side. So as ever, clean them off. Again, I'm not going to push his back, but I'm just going to take out the first few hairs just to make it where it's at its strongest. Use a finger as a pivot. Just for that. So I'm just going to come in, brush, brush.
Caught his leg, and then he pulled that one down. So the moment there where he had no feet on the ground. Hey, you know, it really get wild like that. Nice. Good thinking.
To accentuate that, just razor it in.
It should be fine. Okay. Shall we order some food then? Yeah, what do you want? By the time we film everyone, probably.
Right, that is your hair pretty much done. Right, let's do his beard.
We're okay down here, buddy. We'll be okay down here.
Right at the back. It's important to line up the back of the beard as natural as possible, but you want to do it so when your man's hair moves throughout the day, he doesn't have hair that's hanging over, because it's just going to look unkept. You don't want to be going for a beard trim and then leaving and it still looks unkept. So just pull it all back, whatever comes out, just trim that off. And then just take the corner off so it doesn't look too manufactured. I'm going to do this a bit back to front today, so I'm going to line it all up first and then do the fade. So you're going for a nice deep taper on this. Spin you around, dude.
They're kicking everybody out at the same time from the top. Yeah, that happened before, but I hadn't been thought about that. Then all of a sudden you've got all those people that were in the pub now on the street. Yeah, I know I can't get a taxi, you can't get out, it doesn't make sense.
I'm not pushing it any further than it needs to go. Just pushing it back to its natural line. Right, this is where the fun starts. So, normally I'll put a 0 in here, 0.5, so on and so on and so on. I'm going to bring it down, I'm going to put a 0 in here. But to match this up to the other side, I'm going to find myself a reference point. So this little area of his ear, I'm going to use that. So 0 goes in. Clear that. Sounds drastic, mate, but don't worry, you will have a beard left. So 0. Next one, need a reference point, so I'm going to use the bottom of his ear, 0.5. Taper that back up, so 0.5, 0.25, quarter open, fully closed. And then I'm going to grab my 2 guard, make sure it's closed. I'm just going to start knocking this out now. And just work down your guards. So 1 guard open gives you, well, it's 1.5. Now I'm just going to start to blend this in.
Fucking knock him out with the jab, mate. What the fuck? He jabbed it. Oh, come with the Birmingham.
And adjust the beard accordingly. So it's left me a little weight pocket here. Just taper this in.
What?
Just going to run a pair of scissors over it, just to refine any last little struggles. Alright, so just going to continue from where I left off on the hook.
What's this? What's the address here?
105 Barnes Hill.
Coming up is 146.
No, it's 105.
Middle.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. They're looking dead. That's one side. Loop taper. This side.
Yeah, I
like
like it.
detail in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool, man. Right, now your haircut's super easy to do at home. Just brush your fringe down. Right, and literally you just mesh it up, just push it back into itself and mess it up. And that'll give you that texture that we've got on the top, man.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Nice one. Cool.
Whoever knew sweat could smell so good? I did, because I've been using Beardbrand's new deodorant. Grab it at beardbrand.com.